Jefferson County Post Sports with Mike Stanley. I'm Mike Stanley, along with my co-host Andrew Briggs. We're going to talk a little bit about the NCAA basketball tournament going on right now. And Andrew, the first day, Thursday, a ton of upsets, a ton of brackets ruined within the first 3 hours of the tournament, probably including yours.
Oh yeah, definitely. My bracket was done from the first game, to be honest. With Georgia State with the upset, that pretty much busted mine. That was the key to mine.
Yeah, and then of course, Iowa State. A lot of people had Iowa State moving on. A lot of people even had Iowa State in the Final Four. Of course, they got ousted in the first round, and Notre Dame was on the ropes there for a little while as well in that first couple of ball games.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Notre Dame's rebound in there, I thought they were going to be out. But Iowa State, I thought they were the hybrid to the tournament. I thought they were going to go. I had them go to Elite Eight, and I thought many people did.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think it's evident when you have 11.5 million people filling out brackets on ESPN, and after the first 4 games, there were like 3% remaining that were still intact, and that tells you how confident people were in Iowa State. Of course, then yesterday on Friday, only had one upset, and that was Dayton.
Yeah, that just shows anybody can beat anybody in March. Mm-hmm. Anything can happen.
That's probably why March Madness is such a great thing, because, like you say, anybody can beat anybody in any given game, and it just seems like it happens in March. You can put these two teams together in the middle of the season, and the better team will win. You put them together in the NCAA tournament, and you don't have a clue.
I guess it's just something about the atmosphere that just those teams just crave off of. Like Georgia State, I guarantee if you put them with Iowa State, just like you said, the first of the season, they'd have probably got killed. But Georgia State just came out with a lot of fire and a lot of intensity and beat Iowa State.
Yeah, another team, LSU, got put out in the first round, thanks in large part to missed free throws down the stretch. Of course, they missed 6 there in the last minute and a half. Allowed NC State to end the game on an 18-3 run, and NC State hits a shot with 1/10 of a second left to beat LSU.
Yeah, LSU definitely blew that game. A 16-point lead in the second half. That's just unfortunate.
Well, and LSU is such a talented team, really. You really thought they had the tools to make a run in the tournament, but that game was kind of a telltale for their whole season.
Yeah.
They were either going to beat you good or they were going to get beat. And kind of like with the 2 games against Tennessee. They beat Tennessee by 31 game. Tennessee goes down to LSU and beats them by 15 the next time they play. And as we know, Tennessee wasn't a very good basketball team this year. There's just something about March Madness that gets everybody involved. You have people that really don't keep up with basketball until the tournament starts, and it's you got people that lay out of work to watch the tournament. You got people that are sitting at restaurants for 3-4 hours to watch the tournament that really they don't know anything about.
Yeah, they don't know much about basketball, but they just love March Madness. And that's just, I guess, the joy of basketball and the joy of the tournament that people like, and it's the atmosphere that it brings and the things it brings from the tournament.
Yeah. Moving ahead, of course, in the tournament, Kentucky has to be the favorite. 36-0 now. Now that they have beaten Cincinnati today. Cincinnati really gave them a game, though. I mean, it was close for most of the game.
Yeah, Cincinnati gave them fits on the offensive boards. Kentucky didn't box out at all during the game. And but I think Kentucky's depth once again pulled through again. They just couldn't stay with them. I think that's been the story all season is people play them close, but then towards late in the game they get tired and Kentucky just brings in fresh bodies, one after another.
Right, when you have the number 1 and number 2 recruiting class in the country on the same team, it's hard to keep up, especially if you're a mid-level team like Cincinnati. Of course, like you said, that was been the story all season. A lot of teams have been able to hang with Kentucky for 3/4 of the game.
Yeah.
The last 10 minutes of the ball game was it's all Kentucky.
Yeah.
And but moving ahead, they are the favorite to win this thing, rightfully so. They're the most talented team in the country by far. somebody may be able to get them though.
Yeah, somebody shoots it well one day, they just shoot it out of their mind or come out and are hitting threes like crazy. You never know what can happen there. Kentucky goes cold from the field or whatever.
Yeah, well, you and I talked a little bit before. Further down into the tournament, they could see a team like a Notre Dame that could shoot lights out on any given night, kind of like they did last night. They shot, or not before last night. They shot just pretty good, especially from the 3-point line, and they're going to make Kentucky guard them.
Yeah, they have 5 guys that can come out at the perimeter, and that's going to be, I think, what Kentucky might struggle is when their post and Connaughton Towns has to come out and guard. What's he going to do then? And that guy could just pull a 3 right in his eye or take him off the dribble. What are they going to do then?
Yeah. Going to other number 1 seeds, Villanova really hammered their opponent last night. Of course, the 16's never beaten a 1, but you would like to see it a little more competitive than it was yesterday with them. That's another team that can make a run, and they're kind of the overlooked 1 seed.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they've only lost 2 ball games all season long, and nobody has given them any love. Nobody has them. I think everybody has them at least going out in the Elite 8. Hardly anybody has them even in their Final 4, and I think they could use that as fuel if they need it. Last night they didn't look like they needed it.
Yeah, they've flown under the radar a lot this season. They've hammered some good teams and beat some good teams, and they have an extraordinary point guard that could give anybody fits. But I think they definitely will make a run in this tournament that not many people expect.
Yeah. Well, then of course you have Gonzaga sitting at the 2 seed. They as well have only lost 2 games all season long, and it's kind of you're scared of Gonzaga as far as picking them to win games because it seems like they're always good through the season, but when tournament time comes, they always slip up somewhere along the line.
Yeah, I think a part of that plays they don't play in such a strong conference, so they don't see as many tough opponents every year. So when they get in big game situations, what are they going to do then? When it's a March type game, like you said, against a tough, scrappy team, I mean, what's going to happen then?
Yeah, of course, moving throughout the bracket here, you've got a team like a West Virginia. Who beat Kansas once, took Kansas to overtime the second time they played. I mean, really has all the tools to be able to make a run in this tournament. Coming in as a 5 seed, their road is more tough than say a Utah or another 5 seed along the line. And of course, something I saw found kind of odd was. This year there was not a 12 that beat a 5.
First year.
I think it said first time since 2007.
Yeah,
that's happened, and because that's one of your givens when you're filling out your office bracket,
which is a 5-12 that I'm gonna pick.
Yeah, and you always pick a 12 over 5, always somewhere down the line.
And that was a lot of people's 12 over 5 was Buffalo over West Virginia, and West Virginia pretty much handled them pretty easily.
Yes. Moving forward into this tournament, who is a team, maybe not in the first two lines, that can make a run deep in this tournament that can maybe reach a Final 4?
Yeah, I think that team, for me, has got to be Northern Iowa. That's a mid-major team that is a pretty talented team. They slow it down, and they really stretch the game out for you and put pressure on you. They beat a good Wichita State team. They split with them, but a good win later on the season at Wichita State on their senior night that really put an edge to them and said that they were going to go forward and make a run for this in this NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I think a team for me could be. There's a handful of teams really. If you're talking about a Final 4 run, I would say a team like a Utah who has an easier path. A team like West Virginia that can play with anybody in the country, has a great score, and everybody knows that you need that in March. I think moving forward, a team that could make some noise as an 11 seed is Dayton. Dayton's playing really well right now. I really expect them to upset Oklahoma and advance to the Sweet 16. I kind of think, and the Big 12 hasn't shown us anything in the tournament so far, I kind of think Oklahoma may be a little bit overrated. I kind of wonder how they got a 3 seed, and you have Utah playing the Pac-12, and they were in the top 10 all year long, and they get a 5 seed. It kind of mind boggles me there. And there's always those teams that seem seeded higher than maybe they should.
You got to question who really has Oklahoma beat. Like, they haven't beat a good team all year. And like you said, Utah's been consistently in the top 10 all year. But you look at that road that Utah has to go through, it's a little bit easier. And I do believe that Dayton can upset Oklahoma, as they came out and really handled Providence the whole game and beat them pretty easily by 13, I believe.
Well, of course, you have Iowa as a 7 going up against Gonzaga at the 2.
Yeah.
Another game, another team could possibly be UCLA. They're another 11 seed that it's no matter how bad UCLA is, they're still UCLA. They still have amazing athletes. They still can play with just about anybody. Of course, the feel-good story of the tournament has to be Georgia State right now.
Yeah, the feel-good story is definitely Georgia State because it's the Cinderella with the glass slipper fit, which they only won their first-round game, which was a huge upset. Mm-hmm. But I guess we'll see tonight if they're really the team here to stay and can make a run like a Florida Gulf Coast did last year and really put the shock on the world. But they do have a very good point guard in Ryan Hare, former Kentucky Wildcat that transferred out of there. But he's a great player. We'll see what he can do tonight. But like you said about the UCLA team, they won a controversial call against SMU, which I do personally believe that wasn't goaltending.
Yeah.
But they have great shooters, and they're always great coach with Steve Alford down there at UCLA.
Yeah. You talked a little bit about the SMU game, and of course they don't make it where they are now.
Yeah.
If that call's not made, and you really have to wonder if the official was called up in the moment, if maybe the moment was too big for him, because clearly, if the ball was going to hit the rim at all, it would have barely nicked the front of the rim. That's just a call you don't make to end the game, to determine the outcome of the game, of course, because they were down 2. It was a 3-point shot. He caught goaltending on. They ended up going on to win 60-59. It's just you just have to wonder. You have to wonder what's going through his mind to make that call at that specific moment.
Yeah, as official, you don't really want to make a call that can influence a ball game and win the game or lose the game for a team unless it's a call that you're confident making and know that happened right there. But you can also question, why was the SMU kid really going up for that ball anyways?
Right.
If he knew he was going to miss, I guess he was going up to try to rebound it. I guess so they wouldn't score. Grab it for his team to secure the rebound and the win.
Right. We talked a little about it before, about teams that can make a run and we think will make a run. If you're a team that is going up against, say for instance, Georgia State playing Xavier tonight, they're the 14, but Xavier's just 6th. They've already proven they can beat a 3 seed. That has to give them more confidence moving forward into the tournament that maybe they can make a run in the tournament.
Confidence they can play with anybody. Coming in as a 14 seed, playing against a 3, your odds. Nobody's really thinking you can beat them. They came in with confidence, thinking they could, and that's the key is confidence, definitely for them tonight to beat a Xavier team who's not really a proven team yet, not this year, who they could possibly knock off and make to Sweet 16.
We'll just move forward in the tournament. Who is in Andrew Briggs' Final Four? Maybe not originally because everybody's brackets are busted, but who is in your Final Four now, moving forward?
Well, I'd say I got Kentucky, Villanova, Duke, and Arizona.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably not right, but I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's right. That's definitely.
I'm gonna go Kentucky, Arizona, Gonzaga, and Virginia. And I say Virginia. Everybody rides me on Virginia because their offense is suspect at times. They've got great defense, and teams like a Kentucky, they can play. If you can play great defense, you can compete even on an off night from the floor. Whereas you take a team like a Louisville, for instance, they play good defense, but if they're going to struggle from the floor, it's going to be a long night for them. Especially as they get into the Elite Eight, and you get some of these other teams that are I don't want to say better, because every team that's in the tournament is a good team, but obviously there are some better teams than others in this tournament.
Yeah, I think that's why Virginia's been good in the ACC this year, is because they've been able to defend. If you can defend, you can play with anybody, and that's been proven from little kids basketball all the way up through the pros. I mean, anybody that can defend can play with anybody.
My national championship game is Kentucky and Virginia. I obviously have Kentucky winning it. Golly, as bad as I hate to even say that hurts me to say that. I'll just go ahead and tell you, Kentucky winning the national championship hurts my heart.
It's hard
to
to
even
pick
say
against
that.
winners.
Huh?
It's hard to pick against winners.
It is hard to pick against the best team in the country, and you have to admit they are the best team in the country. As bad as I hate to admit that, it is what it is, I guess, as they say. National championship game for you, Andrew.
I've got Kentucky and Villanova. I think Villanova, since they've flown under the radar, I think they can give Kentucky a tough game, but I think Kentucky will win.
I was thinking the other day, if a team like Villanova or a team, say like a Virginia, had a big guy like the guy from Cal Irvine, did you see him? 7'6", and it's just towering over people.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, man, if a better team had him,
7'6", that's massive.
yes. By far the tallest guy in the tournament. I mean, you think of Cauley Stein being 7 foot, and he's a very athletic 7 foot, so that makes a difference as well. But the guy from Irvine was 7'6", and he wasn't that athletic.
No,
it would be hard. He was 7'6", 300 pounds. And I was like, that is just a beast of a man.
Oh yeah. Imagine having to post him up.
You couldn't.
No, you couldn't move him.
Yeah.
He's like a tower in there.
I mean, you try to box him out, and the ref could call over the back on him, but is it really over the back when he's just that much taller?
Yeah,
I mean,
just reach over and grab it.
Yeah, but if a better team had him, then they could compete with Kentucky. I just don't see anybody being able to compete with their guys down low with Karl Anthony Towns and Cauley Stein and even
Dakari Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, you can just keep naming off guys from Kentucky that play well down low and are just better than most people have.
Yeah, and then you got the Harrison twins, which are both, and then Booker, who can, and then Ulis even, who's defensive maniac. That's, what is he?
He's
not even 6 foot.
He's 5'9", 155 pounds.
Yeah,
and he plays like I don't know. He's a great point guard.
Yeah,
he's fast. He's everything you want. He's a good distributor.
And won't back down from anybody.
Right.
Arkansas guy tried to get in him, and he jumped right back up at him. He didn't back down. And that's what I like about him. He doesn't back down from anybody. He's up for anything.
So you can go ahead and just chalk it up. Make your bets now. Kentucky is going to win the national championship. All of us have told you. Of course, you've heard it on ESPN all week long. You've heard it basically all season long. You've heard it. So take your money to your bank and cash in now. Kentucky's winning the national championship. Now we'll switch over now to high school sports. Of course, Jefferson County being on spring break this week, sports have been slow in Jefferson County.
Yeah.
Of course, Baseball, though, with a huge sweep of Seymour early this week, a run rule on them on the second night, and your brother Kyle with a big home run in the second game.
Yeah, the first game Matt Bradley pitched a complete game, and his defense played extraordinarily well. And the bats in the top of the lineup were alive with knocking in. I think Malik and Kyle had all their RBIs between them, maybe. I believe that's right. And then the second night, Logan pitched well and they hit the ball very good.
Yeah. They are in a tournament now down in Ottawa. They struggled yesterday, falling to a Hawes team 11-5 that they run ruled up here at Patriot Park 12-2. So you kind of just take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
And of course with the pitching they took down to the tournament, like you said before the show, the pitching that they took down to the tournament, not wanting to pitch their aces, wanting to save them for the conference coming back. So don't know how much stock you put in that loss for Jefferson County. Of course, then they played Jackson Christian, I think it was.
Yeah. Jackson Christian, yeah, that's right.
And got me pretty good by the end.
Yeah.
But then again, came back today and beat Franklin County 6-1. Franklin County is a decent ball club. Jefferson County, I'll be the first to say Jefferson County is a much more improved baseball team than they were last year.
Yes, very much so. They're carrying a whole lot more confidence at the plate and on the mound. They're playing with like a different kind of swagger this year that not many teams. I think they surprise people, just like Logan said here last week, that they will surprise people, and I think that's very true, as they already have, because not many people thought they would sweep Seymour. I don't think Seymour thought they would when they came out there and hung with them.
Yeah. Well, and two, I think in the fashion that they swept Seymour, run ruling them in the second game and the first game, beating them by a few runs. You have to think that this Jefferson County team could be able to finish in the top 2 or 3 in the conference this year. Yeah,
well, especially if they keep playing like this and Matt and Logan keep pitching the way they are and their bats keep swinging. I mean, even against Westland now, they didn't score a run. Their pitchers kept them in it, kept giving them opportunities to win, and that's all you can ask for is opportunities to stay in the baseball game and win the baseball game.
Right. That actually improves them to 3-1 in the conference with those 2 wins over Seymour. Puts him right there in the mix of things early in the season, of course. Then we switch over to softball. Softball's still looking for their first win on the season. Kind of surprises me. I thought coming into the season that they would be able to compete. At least when we had Hillary on the show, her big thing was competing. Just like Gaines said about the baseball team, he wants them to be able to compete, and right now they're not able to do that. Too many errors and don't have the bats going right now, and you have to think that somewhere along the line here they are going to be able to get those bats together and sum up those errors in the field.
Yeah, that's not a good combination to have as a softball team or baseball team. You can't expect to win many ball games if you're not hitting well and making a lot of errors. Yeah. So hopefully, like you said, their bats will come around and start hitting it better and get more confidence playing better.
Yeah, I think as they get into the heart of the conference schedule, they'll be playing. I don't want to say lesser competition, but they won't be playing teams such as Farragut and the teams that they're playing in the tournament they're in right now over in Hendersonville. They're playing. I think a step above than maybe where they feel comfortable playing.
Yeah, they played a tough competition, which is, I mean, you can't be mad about that for playing tough competition, because that's what you want, is to challenge your team as a coach. But I think once they get more in the swing of conference play, they'll start winning some ball games and get confidence.
Jefferson County does return from spring break this week. Softball will play 3 games this week with Morristown West, hosting Morristown West on Monday at 5 p.m., traveling to Cherokee Tuesday at 5:30, and then hosting Cott County on Thursday at 5:30. Baseball, a little more busy. They travel to Morristown East at 7 p.m. on Monday. Morristown East then comes to Jefferson County on 7 p.m. on Tuesday. Greenville will then travel here, be at Jefferson County at 6 p.m. on Wednesday before Jefferson County travels to Daniel Boone to play Daniel Boone on Friday at 6 p.m. Get out and support your Patriots. For Andrew Briggs, I'm Mike Stanley. Thank you guys for watching.